Hi, Christina, how's it going?
Hey, Charles, nice to meet you.
Yes,
Zoom meet you.
I'm going to give you the proper Vulcan salute. I was looking at which hand to do it with, and they said whichever.
Oh, really? Is there not? See, I'm still learning. Is there not you can do it with either? It doesn't.
Well, I think because it's based on sort of the ancient Jewish mysticism that they do both hands. So either hand is good. There was all kinds of advice given about it. You know what? That's what I want to ask you about to start off, because I'm jumping off your Instagram post, plus, you know, what you've been saying in interviews already about how quick this process was, how you weren't necessarily a Star Trek fan to begin with, a Trekkie growing up. So what was this like for you?
I mean, I had no idea, other than obviously Star Trek is you can't avoid Star Trek, right, in life in general. But so obviously I was aware of it, but like I didn't realize how incredibly how many number one, how many fans there are, and how much of a community it is, like how loved it is. And so and I guess from, you know, because I hadn't watched much of it, like just bits in the background or whatever, I guess I didn't realize why. I was kind of like, I knew there was a Spock, and I knew, you know, there was a captain, and I knew it was about space, but that was about it. I was like, why does everyone love Star Trek so much? So for me, it's been amazing stepping in and just realizing and understanding why people love it so much. And of course they love it because it's just so, it's especially the original series, and especially what we're doing now. It's really easy to connect to because there's such, you know, everyday themes that and also very relevant to what's going on to today in today's society, especially I think it's episode 3 is the, you know, which, you know, people will see that and see how it relates to today, and just the issues and the themes that run through all the scripts. They're so easily relatable, and the characters are so, and what I feel as well with the original series and with our series, it takes its time. You can really feel the characters' journeys, and it's easier to understand the sciencey bit behind it as well, I think, because it's a lot slower paced. So yeah, so I'm continually learning how great Star Trek is, and I can't wait to like get out there and meet all the fans at the conventions and that kind of thing, to like really immerse myself in it. I mean, not that I'm not already immersed in it. I mean, I'm on the bridge, but like, you know, not now.
Love that term.
Yeah, but yeah, so I feel like this, yeah, I mean, I'm just continually surprised at how much I love it, because I just never thought I'm not your typical sci-fi fan. I love doing it, and I've done a lot of sci-fi throughout my career, but
I've noticed,
yeah. So that's Runa. She's normally really good. I feel like I have to bring her on now. Is that okay? One second. Really, I feel like this. She's in episode 8.
Yeah. What was her name? Ewok before? Did you have an Ewok thing there going on?
Yeah, her name's Runa Ewok.
I was gonna say you should change that now.
To what?
To something Trek related.
She could have a middle name, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
She loves Spock. Can I tell you, she does love Spock.
Who doesn't love Spock?
I know.
What is it about this show? Because, you know, you're saying that you read maybe 3 pages in the UK, and then came to Toronto, quarantine. Like, it was such a fast process. But do you think that maybe this character, like, did she live within you? Do you feel like it's just a perfect match? What was happening?
I do feel like that. I feel like in my life, throughout my career, the roles that I've got, not all of them, but the majority of the bigger roles that I've got have all, I feel like I've meant to play them, because I just feel like the circumstances around everything, it all happens so easily. You know, it was January the 4th or something like that, where I got this audition through, and, you know, we're still in lockdown, especially in the UK. We were in proper lockdowns at that point. So I wasn't thinking there was any auditions coming in. I was like still eating chocolate and crisps and all that. And I was like, you know, wasn't bothered about going to the gym or anything. And then I got this audition. I was like, oh crap, okay. And then I read it, and obviously I didn't know it's Star Trek. So I read it and I was like, okay, But I did this audition back in October, and I said to my agent, I said, you know that we've done this, right? And he's like, yeah. He said, I guess they want to see you again. And I was like, well, maybe should we ask what they want me to do more? Because otherwise I'll just send the tape I sent in October, because I thought it was pretty good actually. Anyway, so I didn't hear anything from the October audition. But so then overnight, because they were in LA, and overnight, my agent had said to them, look, if there's no notes for her, then why don't you just test her? And they were like, oh yeah, no, that's a good idea. I was like, so the next morning I woke up and they were like, yeah, you've got a test on Zoom today with Henry and the casting directors in LA. And I was like, oh, I didn't mean that, Ollie. I didn't mean like, I mean, I'll do another audition. I was kind of like, oh my God, on the day, like finding out I've got a new scene come in, I've got to prepare it all. And I'm looking at, obviously we're 8 hours ahead from LA. So I had a bit of time, but still I was like, oh, and it normally happens for me that the auditions that I try the least for, the least amount of work I put in, I get them. And I think it's because I'm just being me to an extent, right? A version of me. And I'm just like, and I just feel like it was meant to be. And then literally a couple of days later, I got the offer, and or the next day, and because I had to fly 7 days later, and I just moved house, so I had to pack up and also I had to get her paperwork done. So many things to get done in 7 days. I had to find an apartment, all the quarantine paperwork. So it was really, I was literally swept off of my feet, and I felt like some kind of like Star Trek force was kind of like lifting me up in a spaceship, flying me across the Atlantic and dropping me in Toronto, so I just got like completely whirlwind, and I just kind of went with the flow. So I was always catching up with everything. Like I always felt a bit behind of like, Star Trek, okay, right, I need to research, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I wasn't really, which is probably a good thing, not being aware of how big it is, because I didn't have that fear in that sense. Do you know what I mean? I knew it was a big thing, but I didn't know how big. So it kind of was good, I think.
You're right about how it feels contemporary, modern, futuristic, of course, also a throwback to the original series. With you and the cast, you can't help but feel kind of otherworldly, maybe. I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that?
What do you mean? In what way? What do you mean? Explain.
Well, I think it's so great on the show how there's so much diversity. There's so much interspecies diversity. Everybody feels like they're kind of within the world, but maybe like from outside of the world, or could be at this time. How does that feel for you? Do you feel like these are like really kind of like elevated castmates?
I mean, they are, all of the castmates are so down to earth in real life, so down to earth. I feel like we all have, in different ways, but we all have similar backgrounds. So I think that's why we all connect. And it's so, and we're all very open, and we're all willing to try things, and there's, I think what it is there's no ego with us, between each other and for the show. It's all what's best for the show, what's best for the fans, what's best for Star Trek, as opposed to stepping on, sometimes you step onto a show and there's a hierarchy and there's all numbers and but it doesn't really feel like that. And but of course there is a huge amount of respect for, especially Captain Pike and Ansem having, and Rebecca and Ethan having done this before, but they don't make you feel like that. They don't make you feel like you're a newbie, or they were very, very welcoming straight off the bat. And so it made our job a lot easier. And especially like Celia, it was her first TV gig. And I felt for her, because I was like, whoa, like I at least have done this before, but you are being put into this show in a huge role, your first big TV gig. And I remember just like, I was very, she was doing a great job from day one. I remember very clearly her first day on set. And so I was just very aware to make sure she knew that I felt that way about what she was doing. And And so I guess we all kind of felt a little bit of also a little bit of imposter syndrome in a way of like that we were like, wow, should we really have been given these like these huge roles? Like, you know, like, why did they give it to us kind of thing, you know? So yeah, so I couldn't have asked for better castmates. They were just amazing. And it's so much fun, you know, when you all get on and it's just easy.
So having myself seen 5 episodes, it's, you know, strange a bit at first, but then it's familiar. I feel like as I'm watching the show, I'm really falling into it and I feel like I'm in a good place. So, you know, from the episodes that I've seen, maybe even further, what's something that we should be looking out for? You know, can you preview a bit about what to expect? What were some of your favorite scenes, your favorite moments?
My favorite moment of all time of season 1 is episode 8, where this little one comes in, and it was such a huge, I won't give away too much, but it's such a huge, it's the complete opposite of what you would expect from La'an. And I got to basically live out my 5-year-old dreams, and I had an absolute ball, having so much fun. I had so much freedom artistically and to play with what they gave me in the scripts. So I would definitely watch out for episode 8. I think that's my favorite episode so far.
I just want to ask you one more thing. I have to, because of the character that you're playing. In what ways do you think maybe what's something that you're really good at in real life that's not necessarily, you know, something, anything that, yeah, it's something in which way maybe, you know, you are like a supreme being. What's something that you're extremely, extremely good at?
I would say dancing. I used to be a professional dancer. So for me, when I dance, I can be, you can leave me without any alcohol or any other drug, nothing. I just need water on tap. And I can dance for hours on end. And I just love rhythm, music, moving my body to music.
How do you bring that into the role?
You will see.
Ah.
You will see. Yes, you will see. I can't give anything away, but all I can say is you will see.
Wow. I'm glad that you've boldly gone there. Now that you've set that up, now that's all I'm going to be looking out for too.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to say, with the time we've had, I've so much enjoyed the show, What's to Come, and speaking with you. You were so great. You have so much energy. I love it. I'm so happy that I got a chance to speak with you and to do this. So
you too, Charles. Thank you so much. All right, take care. Bye. Bye-bye.